Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's ThoughtLoad. Today is a crypto update, and if you haven't been paying attention to the crypto news, something big happened last week, and unfortunately, it wasn't the type of big we would all want for the crypto world, but the exchange FTX declared bankruptcy, and because of that, markets have fallen because they're one of the biggest exchanges. They've had sponsorships and deals with sports teams, and an arena was named after them and stuff like that. And so because they were thought of as a extremely transparent company and everyone thought that they were doing good, this has been a really big downturn across the entire industry since then. But I want to point out some of the stuff that I've mentioned before in my podcast. I want to highlight some nuances about this and give you some more information to help understand the landscape. So, first and foremost, this type of situation is exactly why I've been saying, and all of the actual legitimate people in crypto have been saying, to keep your crypto off of exchanges because there's no regulation. And when you keep your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency on exchanges, you no longer own it. So if you were unfortunate enough to have crypto on FTX, then it's probably gone. But if you had it in your own wallet and you know your private key, you would still have that crypto. So that's one thing that comes out of this. And for me, that's an education side of things. If more people understood that they could own their own crypto, they could keep it in a wallet, and if they had their private key, everything would be secure, then this really doesn't matter. Okay? Now, the other side of things that I actually pointed out to some family friends yesterday was this analogy, okay? When Enron collapsed, did the world question the energy industry, or did they question oil or its uses? No. So why are we doing the exact opposite here with crypto? Just because one company sucks at managing their shit, everyone freaks out about crypto itself? That makes no sense whatsoever. The code for Bitcoin has not changed. The code for Ethereum has not changed. Those are the two coins that are probably going to be the big players in the coming years, and nothing has changed with them. So why is one company affecting an entire industry like this? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I will say that this bad news from FTX and bad business management from FTX will hopefully push regulators and politicians to do something. We need some type of regulation to protect investors. Because here's the crazy part. In 2021, there was around 7,000 cryptocurrencies, which way too many in my opinion, but that's where we are. Today, there's over 20,000. That's insane. And that to me means that there's tons of coins that do the exact same thing and are only being created to pull people in and to take money from people. Now, unfortunately, that's not the case with every coin that's out there, but because there's so many that are redundant or are fraudulent, that it makes crypto just seem like a dark space, something that we can't necessarily trust. And from that standpoint, I agree. But Bitcoin's the same. Ethereum's the same. Tons of other coins are going to have an impact on certain industries as the years move on. And FTX has nothing to do with all of them. They are simply a broker. Okay? Now I love headlines from certain individuals that I don't know. Maybe they haven't read anything on crypto. Maybe they're trying to protect their own businesses or whatever. But good old Charlie Munger, he has in the past said that Bitcoin is like rat poison, which that's amazing. And apparently this morning he said crypto is a bad combo of fraud and delusion, and it's good for kidnappers. What? What? No. Listen, there may be cryptocurrencies out there that are used by cartels, that are used by secret organizations, that are used by individuals that are trying to harm others. I'm not debating that. But those are the cryptocurrencies that would disappear if we actually had clear and strong regulation. And this is something that people have been asking for years. But the SEC is dragging their feet. Different organizations are dragging their feet. And if you've paid attention to some of my other updates, you would know that big banks and big industry are ready to go. They're ready to invest in crypto. They're ready to get started, but they're waiting on regulation. And so even though FTX has gone down and declared bankruptcy, I want everyone to realize that this is simply a company that was managed poorly. This has nothing to do with how cryptocurrency works, with the benefits that it can provide, and where we're heading in the future. In fact, if anyone has extra cash, I mean, everything's at a huge discount. It's probably not a bad time to invest. And yes, I've been wrong tons of times in the past about cryptocurrency in terms of where the price was headed. But there's one thing that I will continue to say forever, and that these prices will probably go up over the long term. I remember in 2019 when I was talking to friends and family about Bitcoin and trying to get them to understand what it was. And unfortunately, I couldn't articulate it well at the time. But at that time, Bitcoin was $3,000, $6,000. Right now, it is 10 grand over that. And it's gone down a lot, right? I would take that investment any day of the week. Throw in some money in 2019 at about 3 to 6 grand and just hold it for a couple years to make a lot more. Like, yeah, that's a great investment any day of the week. And when you look at long-term Bitcoin gains, it outperforms many other assets. And so it's never about these one moments. It's never about one exchange or one person in cryptocurrency. It's about the long term, understanding which coins are safe, which coins are not safe, which coins are literally jokes, and trying to sift through all of that to understand where you can put your money and just wait. Now, I would imagine that once regulation does come, things will change rapidly. Kevin O'Leary talked about this and how all the major banks are ready to invest, and whenever things do change with regulation and they start investing, the price could skyrocket within a month. Now, here's another perspective I want to leave with you. In the past couple of years, Bitcoin hit a high of $60,000 to $65,000. That was without regulation. That was without major banks in play. What do you think is going to happen when they get into the game? What do you think is going to happen when major industries and major governments across the world start to invest in this stuff? And the only missing piece, from what I'm hearing from crypto lawyers to banks, is regulation. So sometimes we have to take a step backwards before we can take 2 steps forwards. And this, unfortunately, is one of those times. But please know, FTX is simply an exchange. It is not the crypto world. It is not, yes, they have their own cryptocurrency, but that's a native token they use on their platform. FTX is not Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or any of the other top cryptocurrencies that are out there that actually serve a purpose. Look beyond the headlines and understand exactly what's happening when this type of stuff comes out. And if you haven't already, listen to my monologue. Get some more information about the inner workings of crypto and the basics of it. If you haven't read the Bitcoin white paper, do that. It's 9 pages. It's a PDF you can look up online. And if you want to get detailed into the history of money and how Bitcoin can serve as a global reserve currency, I'd recommend you pick up and read The Bitcoin Standard by Safdien. It's like Safdien Amadeus or something like that. Can't remember his name. But if you read those things and listen to those podcasts, you'll have a much better grasp on the future of cryptocurrency, and these events won't mean anything to you. Heck, if you had your crypto in your own wallet, you wouldn't have blinked when this news broke. Because I didn't. I took the time and threw some more money into Bitcoin because everything's at a discount right now. So even though things are not moving in the way that I would like and that a lot of people in crypto would like, this is simply a bump on the road. And whenever regulation does happen and major banks get involved, hold on tight, because things will get a lot more volatile when that happens. Guys, I hope you liked today's episode. Stay tuned for another ThoughtLoad next week. And as always, begin the duel, win the day.